Namaskar, I am Sunil Sononi from Tilaknagar Junior College, Dombeli. Today I am presenting you 1.1 An Astrology Day, passage number 2. He had left his village without any previous thought or plan. If he had continued there, he would have carried on the work of his forefathers, namely tilling the land, living, marrying, and reaping in his cornfield and ancestral home. But that was not to be. He had to leave home without telling anyone, and he could not rest till he left it behind a couple of 100 miles. To a villager, it is a great deal, as if an ocean flowed between. From this slide, we learn that an astrologer had left his village suddenly without any plan. Otherwise, he would have carried on the work like his ancestors. But that was not to be. He had to leave home without telling anyone and migrate 200 miles far from his village. It was a very difficult task for a villager as to cross the ocean. He had a working analysis of mankind's troubles, marriage, money, and the tangles of human ties. Long practice had sharpened his perception. Within 5 minutes, he understood what was wrong. He charged 3 pies per question, never opened his mouth till the other had spoken for at least 10 minutes, which provided him enough stuff for a dozen answers and advices. From this slide, we learn that he had detailed study of human troubles like marriage, money, and complications and difficulties of human life. His ability to hear, see, and understanding things was sharpened by his long practice. He charged 3 pies per question. He was a good listener, as he would not open his mouth at least 10 minutes till the other had spoken, which provided him enough needed information for a dozen answers and advices. When he told the person before him, gazing at his palm, in many ways you are not getting the fullest result for your efforts. 9 out of 10 were disposed to agree with him, or he questioned, is there any woman in your family, maybe even a distant relative, who is not well disposed towards you? Or he gave an analysis of character. Most of your troubles are due to your nature. How can you be otherwise with Saturn, where he is? You have an impetuous nature and a rough exterior. This endeared him to their hearts immediately. For even the mildest of us loves to think that he has a forbidding exterior. From this slide, we learn that gazing at the person's palm, he told him general complications as he not getting fullest for his efforts. 9 out of 10 people were inclined to be agree with him, or questioning whether there's any woman in his family or distant relation who is not inclined towards him, and many more. He has an impulsive nature and outwardly rough. This like he would win his customers' hearts. Every gentleman loves to think that he has outwardly stern. The nuts vendor blew out his flare and rose to go home. This was a signal for the astrologer to bundle up too, since it left him in darkness, except for a little shaft of green light which strayed in from somewhere and touched the ground before him. He picked up his cowrie shells and paraphernalia and was putting them back into his bag when the green shaft of light was blotted out. He looked up and saw a man standing before him. He sensed a possible client and said, you look so careworn. It will do you good to sit down for a while and chat with me. The other grumbled some reply vaguely, as it was the time to go home. The nuts vendor blew out his flare, and it was a signal for the astrologer to bundle up too, since it left him in darkness except the rays of green light which strayed on the ground before him. He picked up all his equipments of astrology and was putting in his bag when the rays of green light became obscure. He looked up and saw a man standing before him. He sensed a possible client and said that he looked so careworn. It would be good to sit down for a while and chat with him. The other complained vaguely. The astrologer pressed his invitation, whereupon the other thrust his palm under his nose, saying, "You call yourself an astrologer?" The astrologer felt challenged and said, tilting the other's palm towards the green shaft light, "Yours is a nature." "Oh, stop that," the other said. Tell me something worthwhile." Our friend felt piqued. "I charge only 3 pies per question, and what you get ought to be good enough for your money." The astrologer persuaded them, whereupon the other shone his palm and asked if he calls himself an astrologer. The astrologer felt challenged and said, seeing the other's palm towards the green shaft of light, "Yours a nature." Then the other said to stop and asked to tell something useful, and added that his friend felt irritated. The astrologer go on saying that he charges only 3 pies per question, for that he should be good for his money. At this the other withdrew his arm, took out an anna, and plunged it out to him, saying, "I have some questions to ask. If I prove you are bluffing, you must return that anna to me with interest. If you find my answer satisfactory, will you give me 5 rupees? No. Or will you give me 8 annas? All right, provided you give me twice as much if you are wrong," said the stranger. This pact was accepted. After a little further argument, the astrologer sent up a prayer to heaven as the other lit a cheroot. The astrologer caught a glimpse of his face by the matchlight. From this slide, we learn that listening this, the other stranger withdrew his arm to put out an anna and threw it out to him. He told him that he had some questions as he has some questions to ask. If he proved the astrologer was bluffing, he must return that anna to him with interest. The astrologer bargained that if he find his answer satisfactory, he had to pay him 5 rupees. The stranger denied, saying no. Thereupon the astrologer said to give him 8 annas. Thus, in the bargaining, they made an agreement to give double amount, and it was accepted. The astrologer sent up a prayer to heaven as the other lit a cheroot for smoking. The astrologer caught a brief view of his face by the inflamed matchlight. There was a pause as cars hooted on the road. Jutka drivers swore at their horses, and the babbles of the crowd agitated the semi-darkness of the park. The other sat down, sucking his cheroot, fluffing out, sat there ruthlessly. The astrologer felt very uncomfortable. "Here, take your anna back. I am not used to such challenges. It is late for me today." He made preparations to bundle up. The other held his wrist and said, "You can't get out of it now. You dragged me in while I was passing." The astrologer shivered in his grip, and his voice shook and became faint. "Leave me today, I will speak to you tomorrow." From this slide, we learn that there was a pause as cars honking sound on the road. Horse car drivers swore at their horses, and the chatter of the crowd worried the semi-darkness of the park. The other stranger sat down, sucking his cheroot, puffing out, and sat having no compassion. The astrologer felt very uncomfortable and told the stranger to take his Anna back, as he was not used to such challenges. It was late for him. He made preparations to bundle up. The other argued him that he couldn't get out of it then, and added he dragged him while he was passing. The astrologer shivered in fright and was failed to handle the situation. His voice shook and had become faint. He asked to leave and will speak next day to them. Thank you.